Hey everyone, I don't know if this is going to work because there's construction going on constantly across the peninsula here. I think they're building a new property or something. But I've got my mic on, aimed at my mouth, so hopefully you don't quite hear that as much. Basically wanted to give you guys an update today of everything going on. We've got a lot going on. Just this week we actually did a couple of searches. There's an abandoned nuclear facility, half built. A lot of you all in Rogersville area, probably all Tri-Cities, anybody around here knows about that half built nuclear facility. Someone from the Churchill area who wants to remain anonymous recommended that I check that place out. So this week I actually just took Moon out there and we explored, we scouted, spotted something interesting that I didn't want to deal with Moon there. So I actually went back another day, and Andy Bernard was willing to come and help me out. I wanted someone else there in case I had to dig and lift it out. So got that done. That was an interesting one. That'll be posted soon. We've got exploring an area in Kingsport. There was a street that Shelly, our local psychic, recommended I check out. That was kind of like a mix between the Layla Santinello case, because that's why she sent us, and then I made a discovery of locations I knew about in the summer case that were on that road, which I haven't gotten back in touch with Shelly to talk about that, but that was an interesting coincidence. I had no idea that things that Serafina had mentioned were on the same named street that Shelly mentioned, and I'm not sure if there's even a correlation or connection between those two things, but I want to talk to Shelly about that. The big thing I want to talk about today, I wanted to clear the air on something is, not long ago, I think last week, a couple weeks ago, I had posted a request for everyone to please help out or pray on the case with the Helene victim, because she was almost homeless. She was in a hotel here. We were trying to make sure she didn't end up homeless, and she's been connected with an organization. A whole bunch of stuff happened since then. I don't think I've updated you all occasionally on community posts. She is now going in a situation, I don't want to really get into it. She's going in a safe situation. There's an organization helping, and hopefully that will be the resolution. We're kind of supporting if they need our support, donations or anything else, but we're not really needed right now, so that's good. Some people brought to my attention, there was that post I made originally about this situation. I did mention, I speculated, and I did say in that video I don't usually speculate. In my mind, I wasn't talking about anyone or mentioning names. I was saying the claims which I heard from one side were specific claims, and I said those claims, I said those speculations. If you looked at the name, and I've deleted this video, so it's not even out there, only 400 people saw it. If you were one of those few people who saw this, there was a concern from the people who were involved in some of the back and forth with this victim. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of accusations from both sides, and so the other side, which I hadn't heard from yet when I made that video, brought it to my attention that people could potentially follow the speculations in that post, even though the person the speculations were about weren't named. They may follow wherever that Helene victim has posted on social media, draw a connection between my video with speculations to what that person has posted on social media, and then connected to the organization. Two organizations were part of that whole thing, which I didn't mention. Again, I did not mention in that video, and I personally don't believe anyone would go through the trouble of actually trying to make the connection between those speculations, anonymous speculations in that video, to the victims' claims throughout social media, to the organizations. But out of respect and journalistic integrity, I removed that video because, number one, if that's happening, if people are drawing conclusions that you didn't intend them to draw based on speculations, if people are actually doing that, you don't want that to happen. So I just deleted the video, and I'm probably not going to post an update video. This is my update video on that situation because it turned out that it's very complicated. both sides of it. I'm just going to say it's very complicated, and we are not taking sides. We don't take sides on things unless there's some earth-shattering piece of evidence that shows there's an actual scammer out there. And in this situation, we didn't see anything that proved a person or organization is a scammer. From what we can see, the organizations out there that are doing work, two things. There's a lot of Helene victims who are almost homeless right now. There were about 2,000 victims who were, the FEMA voucher had run out recently. I think Amber Arrowhood, who's delivering food to these people, had mentioned this in her Facebook posts. They lost their housing for a while. I don't know what happened to all of them. I know that Amber and I think Sandy Pearl and other organizations were trying to help them, get them rehoused. A lot of people on the verge of homelessness. And so some of them have issues. Some of them have physical issues, mental health issues. And I don't know. Sometimes it's not a perfect situation. Sometimes it's not clear cut. And people need help regardless of who they are and what they're like if they need help, if they're almost homeless. And so that's all I'm going to say on that. The organizations that are helping, I got to tell you guys, a lot of them are facing accusations about mishandling of funds and all that kind of stuff. And I am not against scam busting and investigating organizations that may be misappropriating funds. But people are making claims out there on social media, on Facebook, about organizations, and they're not providing any proof. They're not providing any evidence. They're just throwing out these claims. We're working with an organization right now who got attacked on Facebook with these claims, and so now they got to take the time to pull up all of their receipts and prove where all of the donations went. And they have the receipts, and they're going to, but instead of investing time in helping people, they have to go through and invest time in proving that they're helping people. I mean, if they shouldn't have to do that. If you are a scam buster, if you want to be a scam buster and you want to prove that people are scammers, and you want to name them somewhere on Facebook or YouTube, if you're going to name someone and say they're scamming in some way, you better have documentation. You better have proof. You better have interviews with witnesses who saw them scamming. You may multiple witnesses, because one witness isn't enough when you're using witnesses. You better talk to like 15 to 20 people and get a common story and document as much as you can. And that's proving something. Just going on Facebook and saying something about an organization or a person, it's just wrong. And it's causing so much drama. There's so much drama in the Helene recovery. I understand, honestly, the real scammers out there have complicated the situation and made it worse. That's absolutely the case. It's escalated everyone's suspicion of everyone else, and that's unfortunate. So I would just ask everyone to chill out for a little bit. Do your best to help the victims that you know about, the victims that you know are victims. Do your thing. Help those victims. Leave the other people, the other organizations that are helping their victims alone. There doesn't need to be nobody owns the entire disaster. Nobody owns all the victims. You don't have to control what other people are doing. Do your own thing. Help the people in your community. Help the people in your neighborhood. And stop backstabbing, gossiping, and infighting. I don't know what anyone thinks that would accomplish. It doesn't accomplish anything. Certainly doesn't help the victims. So, yeah, that's my stance on that. We took down that video because we don't want to contribute to any assumed or inherent drama that was associated with that person. Definitely don't want anyone to make those assumptions. I didn't make any statements that drew those assumptions. It was all speculation, which is now removed. As far as anything on either side being proven or any scamming, there's, like I said, currently there's not enough information to say that definitely I would not say that about either side. Even though potentially either side would say that currently about each other, you know how we operate. You need overwhelming evidence, and if you drew those conclusions and you know who I'm talking about, and you think one side, you think that an organization that you assumed I was talking about is a scammer, please don't do that. They are not a scammer. I'll tell you right now, there's not evidence that shows they're a scammer. Okay, so never say that we said they're a scammer. If you want to draw conclusions, you better be willing to prove it. That's all I have to say on that. Like I said, we're really busy. This week is our oldest daughter's birthday, so I'm excited. We're excited to get together today with her. Hopefully my other daughter can make it too. It's always fun. They're in their 20s and they still want to come see us for their birthdays, which is wonderful. We wanted to get to Up Chimney Top this week. I've got time this week. It's beautiful, as you can see. And things keep, one thing after another just keeps preventing us, whether it's the weather one day. I made the mistake. I go to the gym almost every day. Again, now I've gotten back to my routine. And 2 days before, I made the mistake of doing some squats. And halfway through, after 3 sets, I realized I probably shouldn't be doing these a few days before a mountain hike. So I stopped and I didn't work out my quads anymore. Sure enough, a couple days later, my quads are killing me. And the last thing you want to do is start your way up a rugged, difficult, like this trail is rated hard. You want to be fresh. You want to be ready. Definitely don't start something like that with sore muscles, because before you know it, your muscles are cramping, you're having issues, and that can be a life-threatening situation. So we're going to get up there. We are going to get up there. It's just one thing after another. Right now it's midweek this week, and we've got the weekend coming. It may be cloudy on the weekend, but we're still going to, I think, as long as the rain holds off, I think it's only 20% in the afternoon. I think we're going to make that shot this weekend, one of the 2 days, even though it's cloudy. We've got to do it now before it gets really warm and before things fill out. So we've got that. I'm also doing a survival video, sort of a how to prepare the key things you need to prepare your home for disasters, whether it's a hurricane, tornado, the things where you have to hunker down and electricity goes out and water goes out. I think there's 5 or 6 key things I'm going to be covering in that video that everyone should be doing so that you can survive a month or longer in your home without needing anything or anyone. So that's probably a sponsored one, because one of the things I want to cover is actually a really cool device that I want to share with everyone that comes in handy tremendously in disasters. So covering that, I think I've done 3-4 searches. I've got a dog search, believe it or not. I helped a community member look for their dog with our drone. Not going to say it turned out great, but did some community service there. That's going to be going up soon. I don't know if it's going to be before or after you see this one. But anyway, we've got a lot going on. We're doing so much, trying to keep up with everything around the house, the yard work and all that kind of stuff, in addition to everything we're doing for the searching and the Helene. And yeah, there's a lot. But we love doing it. We love doing everything. We love your support. We appreciate you all so much for just, subscribing, becoming a member, whatever you do. We really appreciate everything you guys do to support us in any way you can, even if it's just positive comments and all that kind of good stuff. So thank you all for listening. We love you and appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time.